From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to be together in person and on Zoom. There's a comic that circulates this time every year. And in the first frame, someone says, "I think the new year will bring flowers." And in the next frame, someone says, "How can you be so optimistic about this year? Everything is so messed up." And in the final frame, you see that first optimistic person on their knees in the dirt saying, "Because I am planting flowers." And so in this season, in these years when we have learned how little is in our control over and over and over again, I invite us to do the things that are within our reach to make this a year that is bright and beautiful. Come, let us gather together. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning and Happy New Year. I'm Gordon Bolar, a member of the People's Church Sunday Services Committee, and I'm here to welcome you both in person and for those who might be with us on Zoom. Welcome to People's Church. People's Church is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Church, and it's part of a long liberal tradition. And what that means for many of us is a search for the truth with your head as well as your heart. And today, on the first day of the new year, our focus is on, of course, the promise of the new year, what we choose to carry with us, but also on what we might choose to leave behind in 2022. So welcome to 2023 and welcome to People's Church.
And as we begin, a few announcements. This service is for people of all ages. And so if you are with us in the Commons, we know that people of all ages sometimes listen better when their hands are moving. And so we have our fidget baskets and our coloring pages, and we also have set up some big coloring tables in the back. So whoever you are, whatever age, I hope you engage with some of that. Also, all of our music staff and most of our music volunteers are either sick or traveling today. So we are working with recorded music that Savannah, our music director, is sharing from her sick bed. Thank you, Savannah. And hopefully we'll be back to a bit higher production values next week. And speaking of next week, next Sunday, we are having a Christmas Eve do-over service on Sunday morning because we had to cancel in-person Christmas Eve. And I was really sad, and especially about the music. And so this will give a chance for many of our musicians to share with us the work that they have been putting together for a long time for Christmas. And we get to light our candles and sing our songs and do all of our special Christmas things, because I was feeling, and I know I wasn't the only one, really, really sad that we didn't get to do that all together. So hopefully on Zoom or in person, we can have a do-over. Okay, now we get to sing again. So I invite you to get into whatever posture helps you sing your best for our song.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, fa la 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 la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses, fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la.
Our chalice, I'd like to call Catherine Boltman to come forward and help us do that. Thank you. And if you are lighting a chalice at home and watching on Zoom, if you'll just type into the chat box the name of the place, if you want to, where you are, the community or the street. Okay. You have to hold it on. Well, you'll hold it. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So as Catherine lights our chalice, we will be mindful of these words by Deborah Burrell. A flame to light our path. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears about the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace.
a flame by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, a flame, rise up, a flame. Show to us beauty, shelter and joy. Rise up, a flame, rise up, a flame. Shelter us beauty, shelter us joy, vision and joy.
In addition to our chalice lit here at People's Church, we have a chalice lit at Vliet Lane in Kalamazoo Township, a chalice in Battle Creek, a chalice on Gull Road, another chalice on Gull Road, perhaps by neighbors, a chalice in Portage, and a chalice on 41.5 Street. People's Church is a community that supports one another in good times and hard times and all of the times. One of the ways that we do that is by taking time when we gather to invite people to share the joys and sorrows and milestones of their lives. So if you have a joy or sorrow or milestone and are with us on Zoom, please type it into the chat box. If you are with us in person, I invite you to come forward, speak briefly, and share your name. And if you would like to just place a stone or just ask for a stone without saying anything, that is fine too. Sources of reason and radiance, sources of courage and compassion, keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed. May the weary find rest. May the sick be tended. May the dying and those who love them find peace. And may the joyous be shielded. And may all of us know we are wrapped in a love that surrounds us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. I now invite us into a few moments of silence.
I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
Our first reading this morning is entitled Burning the Old Year by Naomi Shihab Nye. Letters swallow themselves in seconds. Notes, friends tied to the doorknob, transparent scarlet paper, sizzle like moth wings, merry in the air. So much of any year is flammable. Lists of vegetables, partial poems, orange swirling flame of days, so little is a stone. Where there was something and suddenly isn't, an absence shouts, celebrates, leaves a space. I begin again with the smallest numbers. Quick dance, shuffle of losses and leaves, only the things I didn't do. Crackle after the blazing dies.
A Purification by Wendell Berry. At start of spring, I open a trench in the ground. I put into it the winter's accumulation of paper pages I do not want to read again. Useless words, fragments, errors. And I put into it the contents of the outhouse, light of the sun, growth of the ground, finished with one of their journeys. To the sky, to the wind, then, and to the faithful trees, I confess my sins, that I have not been happy enough considering my good luck, have listened to too much noise, have been inattentive to wonders, have lusted after praise. And then upon the gathered refuse of mind and body, I close the trench, folding shut again the dark, the deathless earth. Beneath that seal, the old escapes into the new. And now we will burn the old year, at least the parts of it that need to be burned, the parts we want to let go of that were hard and painful. So think of the loss and the grief in your life or in the wider world. So we'll be passing baskets to the people who are here in person. I invite you to grab a piece of paper or two, and there's pens. And please write or draw on that paper what it is that you don't want to bring with you into the new year, or just kind of stare at it until it symbolically holds that, or do whatever makes sense for you. And if you are with us on Zoom, I invite you also to think about what it is you don't want to carry into the new year. And we can't send the fire through the internet to you, but I hope you find a time for burning or burying of your own. And when you feel ready, those of you with us in this space, I invite you to come forward. So the paper that we're working with is Magician's flash paper, and it burns very quickly. So I'm going to show you how it works, and you're welcome to try it. Or if you're small or not, or just don't feel good about your movements, I'll be here and can help you burn it too. So we release what we don't want to carry with us into the new year. That's fun, right? This is one of my favorite services of the year. So when you are ready, burn the old year. You did it. That works too. Yeah, do a do-over if you need to. Grab another one. Beautiful. That's fun. Yeah, if you want to just touch the tiniest corner and then kind of throw it away, that's a good way to do it. Perfect. It all works. It all works. Yep. It's okay. So we know that rituals in themselves do not change us, but there is power in rituals. People call them spiritual technology, which I love, that it helps us make something new. So I hope that in burning up or watching others burn the things that you did not want to carry into the year, it gives you the strength to let go or make changes. And you can visualize that fiery poof when you need to remember the commitments you're making to yourself today. People are generous people in so many ways. When I opened my email this morning, there was a note from the Black Lives Matter meal train, the group that we supported with our special collection in November. And they wrote, "Dear People's Church, We hope the freshly fallen snow and post-holiday slowdown find you relishing in the earth's beauty and full from meaningful connections over this past week. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the generosity you bestowed upon our meal train in November. We apologize for the small delay in communication, but please hear us. There is a lasting activist impact because of what your membership made possible. Your solidarity is impacting generations inside of Black families on a local level. Our gratitude is immense. We also enjoyed every second we spent inside your building, making connections with your staff and members. Thank you for having us in your sacred space during worship. We feel joy in your collective presence. We hope to continue building connections and justice with you in 2023. In gratitude, Black Lives Matter Meal Train team. Thank you for being generous people. And now I invite you to continue to be generous and support the good and important work of People's Church. The offering will now be received.
New day dawning, life before us unexplored. Morning sun and fire above us lights away. New worlds calling, feel the wind beneath your wings, fly into the promise of a bright new day. Like a moth drawn to the candle, I am drawn to future's fire. Lift the wings and let me fly. Lift the wings and let me fly. Let me fly closer to the flame. I'll fly closer to the flame. Ever closer to the flame. Soaring upward with a passion for the day. Loving my life and flying closer to the flame. Like a moth drawn to the candle, I am drawn to future's fire. Lift the wings and let me fly. Lift the wings and let me fly. Let me fly closer to the flame. Like a moth drawn to the candle, I am drawn to future's fire. Lift the wings and let me fly. Lift the wings and let me fly. Let me fly closer to the flame. I'll fly closer to the flame. Ever closer to the flame. Face the future. Flying closer to the flame. Ever closer to the flame. Ever closer to the
Please join me now in giving thanks for all that sustains us. From the countless gifts we have each been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love which none of us can accomplish alone.
to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Ah, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who I am? See we one another clearly. Do you know who you are? See you know who I am? Another clearly. See we one another clearly. Do you know who we are? Whoa, so is life. So is life. Whoa, so is life. So is life. Water make the river, river wash the mountain. Fire make the sunlight, turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. Whoa, so is life, so is life. Whoa, so is life, so is life. Whoa, so is life, so is life. Whoa, so is life, so is life.
Our next reading this morning is A Rock in Our Pocket by Teresa L. Soto. When they are kids, it seems like a profession, talking to rocks and listening for their beauty, for the song that says they belong together. They pick up the shiny one, the round one, the flat one, the pretty one. They store them in boxes, in bags, in pockets. Don't worry, they're very clean after being laundered. But what you will miss unless you pay attention is this. There is always the possibility that we can treasure what is in our pockets rather than the thing we have yet to attain. There is the knowledge of the earth beneath all of us that a plain, sparkly rock can give. It is the hurtling round rock on which we race around the universe. There is the sense of beauty all around, but also choosing to experience it, to seize it and savor it. You could do worse than a practical, ongoing yes. This community will not begrudge you any reminder of your individual, our shared strength. Carry it with you everywhere. Be ready to share it. You know where you can get more.
Relentless by Sean Parker Dennison. At the beginning of the year, I went to my local interfaith clergy meeting. The person in charge of hosting had asked us to come prepared to discuss a simple practice. What word would we claim for the new year? The person to my left volunteered to go first. That meant I would be last. It didn't matter to me because the practice was familiar to me and I'd chosen a word a few days earlier and made a vision board for the year. But as we went around the circle, I began to get nervous. The first colleague chose hope. The next colleague chose compassion. This third chose self-care. The fourth told a long story that ended with her selecting the word angel, peace, devotion, honor. By the time we got to me, I was squirming and quickly considered choosing a different word. But even though that felt less risky, it felt dishonest too. So when it was my turn, I blurted, my word for the year is relentless. The room went silent and then filled with nervous laughter. I mean, the author continues, the world seems to be getting meaner. Ministry is asking more of me and my family. I guess I chose relentless because I need it. I don't want to give up on the world, on our community, on myself, on us. The silence continued, and then one of my retired colleagues smiled and asked loudly, "Can I borrow that? I want to change my answer from kind to relentlessly kind." And one by one, my colleagues agreed. And suddenly, the interfaith clergy serving one small town had agreed. For the year, we would commit ourselves to relentless hope, relentless compassion, relentless self-care, relentless peace, relentless devotion, and relentless honor. It seems like it will be a good year. And somewhere, if we are lucky, a relentless angel is watching over us all. So I have more baskets to pass to our people who are with us in person. There are stones and other paper, and I invite you to take one of each. Yes, it's much heavier this time. So as the baskets of stones make their way around the space, I invite you to enter into a time of stillness and meditation. If you are with us in the room, take a basket or take a stone that speaks to you when the basket comes, as well as a piece of paper. If you are with us on Zoom and don't have a rock sitting right next to you, I invite you to look around the space you're in and settle your eyes on what is oldest, what has endured for the longest in the room you are in. As the rock comes to you, as you look at the oldest thing in your line of vision, ponder what you hope for in 2023. Maybe it is for something good to continue. Maybe it is a change. What part of this aspiration is yours to make real? What can you do? Has everyone in the space received a stone? So I now invite you to look at that stone in your hand or the oldest thing in your space. Notice the color and shape. Feel its textures. These stones have existed for century upon century. They have seen New Year's come and go, and it remains. Think about what in your life and in your world you want to be as strong and persistent and relentless as a stone. Think about what you might be called to do with your heart and mind and hands to make that possible. And as we end this time of meditation, I invite you to keep this stone, carry it in your pocket, perhaps, or wallet or backpack, put it in a special place, and may it be a reminder for you this year, reminding you as the year unfolds of the hopes you hoped today. And if you focused on an object in your space, may that object now be a reminder for you of your hopes for the year to come. So in the reading, Sean Parker Dennison shared a group of clergy naming an intention for the year. And now I would like us all to name a word or a phrase of blessing for each other. Perhaps we use one of the words like, or phrases like relentless hope, relentless compassion, relentless self-care, relentless peace. So if you are with us in person, I want you to write it or draw it or make on the little piece of paper that I hope you just picked up. There should be pens in the basket, so if you need that, and hold on to it for now. If you are with us on Zoom, I want you to type a word or phrase of blessing for our community into the chat box, but do not press enter yet, if you can. I know that's kind of automatic for most of us. But write or draw or type. If you are done writing, can you look up at me so I know you're okay? Got a few more to go. Okay, so Zoom congregation, this is your moment to press enter, and there'll just be a waterfall. I've heard that described as a Zoom waterfall of words of blessing. And we're doing a different part of the water cycle in person. It's going to be what I've heard people call it a snowball fight. So I invite you to take your word of blessing and crumple it up until it looks like a ball. If you have a white one, maybe a snowball, otherwise something else. And then let's all kind of, if you're able to kind of move towards each other, and we're going to throw these at each other a little bit. So you throw them, you find one at your feet, you pick it up and throw it. It's a good way to mix things up. Okay. So go. Oh. Okay, and now I invite you to find one to pick up And if you're here in person and that is your word or phrase of blessing, there should be, the math should work out that if you wrote one, you should get to pick one up. But we might have to look under chairs, or here's one. Oh. So did everybody, you can go back. Well, we're going to sing again in a moment, so you can keep standing if you want. So the words, some of the words that came in for over Zoom are joy, peace, rest, strength and connections, health, relentless love, relentless caring. I have hope on my paper. I hope you have something that fills you with a little bit of joy to have in your pocket alongside the rock. And now we are going to sing our final song, the traditional New Year's song, Auld Lang Syne.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. And surely you'll bring your pint cup, and surely I'll bring mine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne.
And one final blessing for us all before we go, before our service ends. This is from the Greek Orthodox monks of Patmos Abbey in Greece. It's a prayer for clocks and calendars. So I invite you, if you wear a watch or if you have your smartphone with you or your physical calendar, to have that nearby as I offer this prayer. You who live outside of time, Holy One, and reside in the imperishable moment, we ask your blessing this New Year's Day upon your gift of us, to us of time. Bless our clocks and watches, you who kindly direct us to observe the passing of minutes and hours. May they make us aware of the miracle of each second of life we experience. May these, our ticking servants, help us not to miss that which is important, while you keep us from machine-like routine. May we ever be free from being clock watchers and instead become people who journey through time. Bless our calendars, these ordered lists of days, weeks, and months, of holidays and holy days, feasts and fasts, all our special days of remembering. May these servants, our calendars once reserved for the royal few, for the magi and pyramid priests, now grace our homes and our lives. May they remind us of birthdays and other gift days as they teach us the secret that all life is meant for celebration and contemplation. Bless this new year, each of its 365 days and nights. Bless us with new moons and full moons. Bless us with happy seasons and a long life. Grant to us the New Year's gift of a year of love. Amen.